Welcome to Fast Career Growth channel. In previous session, we learn about critical to quality and Cannomedy. In this part 5 video, we will learn about how to make SciPup. This is all about me, and the content of this video will be what is SciPup, how a SciPup works, and steps of SciPup. So what is SciPup? SciPup means a acronymic stands for SciPup. S for supplier, I for input and key requirements, P for process, O for outputs and key requirements, C for customer. Then a SciPup diagram is a visual representation of a high-level process map, including suppliers and inputs into the process and outputs and customer of the process. Visually communicates the scope of project in defined phase. SciPup is a good tool for translating customers' requirement into input and output requirements and identifying related key process input and output variables, which is also known as KPIBS and KPIBOS. SciPup establishes project scope and should be referred back to in later project phase to ensure adherence to scope and eliminate scope creep. Be very clear about where the process starts and where the process ends. This should align with and help to define your project scope. This is all about SciPup. How to make a SciPup and how a SciPup works. So first you have to write supplier, inputs, process, outputs and customers. So tips for this SciPup involve a cross-functional team of those who work with the process to create the diagram. So step 1, begin with the high-level process map. This is all about the SciPup chart, and first you have to start from process. Be very clear about where the process starts and where the process ends. This should be aligned with and help define your project scope. Keep the process map to the highest level. Don't be tempted to dive too deeply into the process steps at this point. Keep it 4 to 5 steps only. So this is step 1. Step 2, list all the outputs from the process. Just like here, the outputs may be services, products, reports, metrics, raw data. Start by brainstorming with the team about the outputs. Outputs can also include requirements. For example, each product produced may have a tolerance level to meet quality requirements. If you have a lot of outputs, focus on the critical few. So list the outputs on the diagram. Step 3. Identify the customers receiving the outputs. Customer may be internal customer, external, vendors, end users, management team, downstream process. That means you have to identify those people and processes that receive the outputs. Take special note of any downstream process. Do the outputs of this process match the inputs of the downstream processes? List the customers on the diagram. Step 4. List all the inputs into the process. This is shown in the chart also. For example, inputs may be data, parts, application, raw materials. That means we have to turn our attentions to the process inputs. Inputs can also include requirements. For example, raw materials may have a purity level to meet quality requirements. If you have a lot of inputs, focus on the critical few. List the inputs on the diagram. Final step, identify the suppliers of the process inputs. The suppliers may be internal, may be external, vendors, producers, management team, or upstream processes. Finally, identify the people, systems, or upstream processes that supply the inputs. Take special notes of any upstream processes. Do the inputs of these processes match the output of the upstream processes? List the suppliers on the diagram. So this is all about SciPack and how you can make a high-level process map in Define page to find out the project's boundaries or project scope. Thank you.